6'4" with movie star eyes, reads her thoughts without surprise, owns a house before 33, works 4 hours, financially free, kind and funny, bold yet shy, always knows the reason why. Everybody's scrolling the same old dream, different profile, same routine, copy paste another list, searching for a perfect mix. Sky high standards touching the stars, looking for astronauts driving sports cars. Every wish list reaches the sky, still asking why the good ones pass by. Sky high standards higher each day, everyone chasing the very same play. Maybe perfection never arrives, maybe real people make better lives. Exotic tongues rise, love poem still stays young. Master chef with millionaire pay, answers every text right away. Adventure weekends every week, strong but gentle, humble yet unique. Never jealous, never late, apparently designed by fate. Another swipe, another clone, another prince behind the phone. Every bio starts the same, everybody playing one game. Touching the stars, looking for astronauts driving sports cars. Every wish list reaches the sky, still asking why the good ones pass by. Sky high standards higher each day, everyone chasing the very same play.
Yo, big bars, what is up, my brother? What is up? How you been, my brother? How you been? Alright, guys, what's up? What's up? Let's get started. Sorry I wasn't here Wednesday. I got home late, right, because of work. And then after eating, it was already late. I figured, it's whatever. It's not like, I mean, I know some of the people who do follow me regularly. Sorry for that. But I mean, I know it's not like I'm, it's not like I'm getting like hundreds of views. Well, look who's here. What is up, Laughing Man? I know that, you're probably the only one. You're probably the only one that notices my streams. One of the few. All right. But guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you, my brother. All right, let's get started. I have some interesting videos tonight, so I think it'll be fun. Let's start with a police cam video. Right? I've been liking police cam videos. I think they're fun. So let's check this one out.
Hitting me. This happened a week ago, and I've been, long story short, let me just cut it all back, dude. I'm so sorry. I just woke up drained. I have a headache.
Where's
now.
she at anyway?
In the house. All my temple, dude. Megan.
Okay.
Busted my lip open. She woke up and found my drugs. And I'm like, dude, all I have is my medical marijuana. I have a bag full of weed that's in my name.
Right.
They're like the Ace that you can buy from the store. I have my med card. Everything is legal.
Right.
And she just started hitting me.
Brent, what is up, my brother?
A boyfriend claiming his girlfriend had attacked him during an argument over his legally licensed marijuana. But when police questioned her, she told a completely different story.
Well, I've been suspecting him of doing drugs for how long? For months at this point.
Okay.
And I found them today while he was sleeping in his sweatshirt.
Okay.
And I told him, I just laid back in bed, I called my best friend, I was like, I just found his drugs, like, I don't even know what to do right now. You can see in my text, like, I'm not even gonna say anything. Then he woke up, and I said, hey, I found your ketamine, and I flushed it. And he told me, you're insane. Yeah, that's him.
Okay, keep going.
I'm insane, I'm crazy, I'm too much, I should have broken up with you a week ago. And then he tried to leave, and I stood in front of the door, he threw me on the ground, he ripped my hair out, it's on the ground in there, there's smashed glass everywhere in there because he started getting upset that I caught him in a lie.
Okay.
I'm covered in blood, like, I was being thrown onto glass in my house.
Now police were hearing two completely different versions of the same incident. But then the boyfriend showed them something that could change everything. The license proving the marijuana was legally his.
My bag of drugs she's talking about, by the way, and it's all my medical marijuana. There's no ketamine or anything. It's literally medical marijuana in my name, which I have my license for too.
In the back of the head, multiple times.
Yeah, I can see it's red right here.
Yeah, because he...
And where in the back of the head?
I don't even know.
You need medical attention? Is there anything in the back of your leg right here?
Yeah, there's blood all over me right here.
So who was telling the truth? And what really happened behind that closed door?
10-12 with the milk.
I've said this many times. The worst thing for men, it's not necessarily the worst, right? But like one of men's biggest weaknesses is women. Okay? One of men's biggest weaknesses, I mean, pretty much it's women and lust, right? Those are men's biggest weakness. It's if men are going down, it's usually a lot of times it's women. Okay. But it has something to do with women in a sense. I'm not necessarily saying it's because of their fault, but it's because men's weakness towards women.
Hello.
Have you 10-12 with the males?
What's going on? What's going on, bud?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, really.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry.
All right.
How's it going, man?
Good. What's going on, man?
Dude, I just woke up, literally to my girlfriend hitting me. This happened a week ago, and I've been, long story short, let me just cut it all back, dude. I'm so sorry. I just woke up. I'm drained. I have a headache
Where's
now.
she at anyway?
In the house.
Her
All
name?
of my temple, dude. Megan.
Okay.
Busted my lip open. Like,
When is that from? Just now?
just all of this is just
Can you go
now.
like this? What about the top? Okay, it's right there.
Something's bleeding, yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know where, but I think it's the top one. This one feels a little bit sore. Come here, girl.
What's the arguing about exactly?
She said she woke up and found my drugs. And I'm like, dude, all I have is my medical marijuana. I have a bag full of weed that's in my name.
Right.
They're like the ace that you can buy from the store. I have my med card. Everything is legal.
Right.
And she just started hitting me.
That's it?
The whole the green card thing, I know it does take a little while, but I mean there are ways to speed it up. You should look into it. There's ways to speed it up.
Sorry.
You're good.
Asking me what else I've been lying about.
I agree. I mean, this is a thing where women will usually be men's downfall. Women will usually be men's downfall.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man. Take your time.
I haven't had the water, haven't even my morning pee yet. This happened last week, the week of Halloween. She got home at like 5 a.m. all drunk doing the same exact thing.
Right.
All on video. She almost got me kicked out of my HOA because of it. The HOAs
She
are
lives here and you live somewhere else?
not at all on camera. I got some of it on camera today too. And as soon as I start filming, she backs up. She's like, "What are you going to tell them about your drugs? Call the cops in."
Right.
I'm just
This
like,
is all happening. Why are you still dating her?
dude,
Man?
it's been the past week, bro, and I tried to get her to the help, thinking it was like mental health.
Right.
But then I realized, and I have it on video too, where she's like, calling her mom on my video. She doesn't know I'm recording, crying, he hit me. And then as soon as she hangs up, she looks at me, she's like, "Ha ha, pussy, you're going to jail."
Right. Do you have your ID on
Like
you by chance?
psycho, dude.
Right.
I
Want to
grab
grab
it for
it?
you?
Yeah, you can grab it.
Do you guys have water by chance, man?
No, I don't. Sorry, man.
Okay.
I'm thirsty too. And that what? Did you pop your front right tire?
Yeah.
I don't want you to go in the unit.
Well, I have.
Do you have it maybe in your bag?
It's in that medical marijuana bag I was telling you about.
Where's that at?
I don't know. She just came out here and grabbed it.
Okay. Well, tell you what.
Room 4. I can go. I took a pee on the side of the building. Maybe I set it over there while you're doing that.
Go ahead. You go look real quick. We'll knock on this door.
Is this his car?
Yeah, his. He don't live here. His boyfriend, girlfriend.
I said, "Hey, I found your ketamine," and I flushed it. And I slashed his tire.
Why would you slash his tire?
Because he beat the shit out of me.
Okay, but could have called.
Beat the shit out of you? You really don't look like you've been beat the shit up.
Called us.
Could have called us, but that's another, you know.
There's also a shitload of drugs in the back of his car.
That's fine. But one wrong doesn't make another wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Can you show us inside real quick, man? What you're talking about?
Where's Kimmel going? 44.
It's my ID, dude. That's good.
Alright, bro.
This is my bag of drugs she's talking about, by the way, and it's all my medical marijuana. There's no ketamine
This video was weird, right? How this guy's editing is weird.
or anything. It's literally medical marijuana in my name.
Just yesterday.
Okay. It's just a reoccurring pattern, dude. I told my HOA that I was going to leave her. Last week on Halloween, she did this. She showed up at 5 a.m., hitting me, destroying my house. I didn't leave and I didn't call the cops because I thought she was just wasted.
How long have you guys been hanging out? Or
6 months.
dating? 6 months?
Way too short to be doing any of this.
So you've been 6 months you've been together?
Yeah.
How long have you been living together?
No, we haven't been.
Do you live together right now?
Yeah, there's blood all over me right here.
Whose place is this?
This is her place.
Okay.
Bro, you knew that this woman was crazy before. Alright, only 6 months and she's this crazy?
See this, guys? So this is only 2 seconds.
Do you see this?
Every time I start filming, see, you're a pussy. You're just accusing me.
Just popped my tire. All of this, Megan Day, she lives here.
And every time I start recording, she like runs inside or calls me a pussy.
Saying you got hit?
I'm bruised all right here. He
So let me
smacked
take a
me and
picture.
punched me in the back of the head multiple times.
Yeah, I can see it's red right here.
Yeah, because he
And where in the back of the head?
I don't even know where.
You need medical attention? Is there anything in the back of your leg right here?
Yeah, there's blood all over.
This is a thing where we definitely got to create an episode of talking about women's crazy mental health. Women are honestly on another level of insanity.
Over me right here.
Off the bed at that time. Ran to the door. And
medical attention?
no, I mean, no. Trying to make my life hell is what it seemed like. She's like letting my dog out of the house off a leash, telling me I'm a pussy, that I'm gonna go to jail for drugs, and like all this crazy shit.
There's welts all over my backside from him throwing me on the ground.
Okay. So what happened once you tried blocking? How did we get the broken glass in there?
That was, dude, that's how I woke up. All of that was already done. Like, she woke up, I woke up to, there was glass, weed, water,
I
and
am worried about
hair
myself.
on the ground when I woke up. And I was like,
Hair on the ground.
But I need
like,
you guys to look
piece-
in the
look like
back
a
of his
weave.
truck, 'cause there's
Like a
packet
piece of a
full
weave.
fucking drugs in there.
So you didn't put your hands on her at all?
no, I did whenever I pushed her on, when I was in bed and she was doing all of this, I moved her. Like, I was like, get off of me. What are you doing? I never hit her. I never once grabbed her, anything like that.
So you
Or
saw the
simply
glass was
Didn't
already
grab
broken?
me
Move,
well.
yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
Glass was already broken, hair was on the ground. I pushed her, I did move her, like, get off of me. And then I moved her out of the way whenever she was in the door. I never, dude, I'm raised by women. That's one thing I do not do is hit or abuse women or have.
Right, but she's got cuts on her and she's got marks on her. So I'm trying to understand what's going on with those. She's got marks on her chest. She's got marks on her arms. So
I have no idea. I do, like I said, I have videos of.
I'm not
what she
asking
did
about
a
the
week
videos. I'm
ago.
just asking you right now what happened.
I don't want to. I don't know. I did not do it. I did not see her harm herself either. But I'm just saying that could be a possibility with her mental health and what's going on right now. That's all I'm saying.
Do you have any mental health issues?
There's welts all over my backside from him throwing me on the ground.
Okay, no problem. We're aware.
We're going to document everything. Did you provide him ID?
Yeah, he's got it. He's got
Did
that.
you get his ID?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking to him right now. Don't worry about him. Worry about yourself right now.
I am worried about myself, and
You need any
I
medical attention?
no. But I need you guys to look in the back of his truck because there's
No, we can't
a
do
packet
that.
full of fucking
We can't
drugs
do
in
that. It's not
there.
how it works, ma'am.
Okay, well, there's ounces and ounces of drugs in there.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, we
Why
can't
is she
just search
so
people's property.
why is she so worried or so concerned about getting him like arrested on drugs or something? It's like she's really fixated on his drug use, which is medical marijuana.
Like that. It's not how it works. And think she allegedly chased him down with a knife.
I messaged your mom and your sponsor.
Ma'am, can you hang out here for a minute? We need to get a statement from you, okay? He's gonna come over and swear you in. Just get your statement, okay?
Approximate citation. 3 hours.
What happened when you're slamming that tree? Okay? Just stand right there for me. And we'll do it together. So,
Can I put some phone?
listen, this is only going to take 10 seconds. Let's just do this real quick.
No, like for what? The scratches on me, the bruises.
I don't know
what is
because
the,
I don't
I'm
know.
just
I don't know what kind of.
asking,
What are
What are they gonna do?
I don't know. I
Give me
can't
that.
ask. You understand? I can't feel it. I can't feel what you feel.
16,455.
That's why I'm asking you. You need medical attention?
16455.
Okay. So just raise your right hand for me. State your full name and date of birth, please.
My name is Day. I was born on September 6th.
Okay. Do you test the testimony you give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you kind of what I got from what you're speaking to my partner about. Then you please fill in and provide me your statement, okay? From what I gather, some point this morning, you located some drugs that you believe to be ketamine. You thought he's been hiding for a long time, so it upset you. So you confronted him when he woke up, right? And at that point, you're saying that a scuffle took place.
We woke up. He got out of bed. I was naked. He was wearing pants. I put a robe on. He tried to leave. And I told him that I flushed the ketamine. And he started smashing glasses all over my house. And I stood in front of the door. He threw me on the ground. He ripped my hair out and continued to fight me.
Your real hair, or is it like an attachment?
It's my real hair.
Okay. Can you show me where it's ripped?
I don't know where it's ripped, but I can show you the chunk on the ground.
Okay. So keep going.
He smacked me in the back of the head and the face a bunch of times. I have blood on me from being thrown onto the glass on the ground. I have blood all over the back, all over my ass, because I was naked when this was happening, trying to keep him from leaving my house so we could talk about it like normal adults.
Okay. Did you at any point call us?
No, because I was fighting him off of me.
Okay. So once you left the house, you said you came out here and...
His dog ran off.
Okay.
And I slit his tire open.
Okay. All right.
Man, if like, I want to see if they're gonna prove it. But if she did all that, slit his, puncture his tires and all that shit, is like, stop getting with crazy bitches.
When you said he was throwing you around, where did that happen exactly?
Right in front of the store.
Was that when you were trying to prevent him from leaving?
Yes. He was kicking me. Like, he kicked me here.
He kicked you that?
And in my stomach and in my back.
Kicking you now. Like, this woman is adding more and more to the story.
Okay, wherever it's appropriate, I'm just going to take photos to document everything, okay? Where you hit it all in your face.
Here and here. He was smacking me all over my head.
Okay, you're saying he was smacking you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you pull your hands out for me?
What's your 1020?
Flip them over for me. Okay. And you got some minor cuts there that looks like from the glass that was broken on the ground. All right, can you just turn around for me? Do me a favor, just put your hands behind your back.
What?
Ma'am, do not resist. You've been placed under arrest.
Just relax.
That was smooth.
Can I please know why?
You're under arrest for domestic battery.
What about him? What about him? What about him? Please stop.
I'm wondering why again, you would think that they would assume that, all her sob story, all her story, you think that they would go after him. So I really want to know their reasoning.
Please! Stop!
Did you get a female?
What is wrong with
Thanks,
you?
buddy.
We're gonna leave this here, man.
Please stop! Please stop! Please stop! Please stop! Please stop! Please stop!
Princess, this does not have to be.
Stop! I don't have shoes!
Can we put in one of your cars? I don't have to.
Please! No, 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 please stop! Please stop! My best friend is on her way! Please, please, wait! Please, 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 wait!
We'll call her. We'll let you call her.
I had a chick accuse me of throwing a beer bottle at her in a crowded bar while I was drinking cans of beer. Pure BS. False accusation.
No, my
Man,
dog!
stop
My
screaming.
dog! My dog!
We'll make sure that your dog is fine.
No, you won't!
Yes, we will.
Can you love
We're not
me?
gonna leave
My
with your dog just
What are you
unattended.
gonna do with him?
Where's your phone so we can call your friend,
I
man?
don't have it! Why is this
Ma'am,
happening?
where's your friend?
Why is this happening?
Because you guys had a domestic battery. You chased him with a knife.
I did not chase him with a knife. I have a video of it.
Okay.
I have a
Ma'am,
ring camera.
where's your phone so we can call your friend?
I don't know.
You know where your phone is?
It's in my house.
Where? Right by the front door?
I don't know. I don't.
All right, we're gonna grab your keys and your phone,
You don't
okay?
know where
Hang tight.
it is.
He does. He wants to charge her with the vandalism.
So you do want to press charges for the vandalism? Okay.
And I gave him a pamphlet.
Wait, was it that he called? Was it that he called the police? Because that can shake things up, right? Because this is the thing, my brothers, okay? Be the first to call the police. Be the first, because when she's gonna call, it helps their. I think it's like the person who calls it helps their case.
He signed.
Give me 1 second.
He signed exemption and mark.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mom. Just gonna get the 15 on the car real quick. Okay.
And we need to.
What's that?
You want me to show you?
Well, hold on. The purse is right here. Hey, sweetie.
What year is this car?
Mine? 2014.
We talked to her about.
Hey, sweetie. Hold on, Bubba. This is her phone, obviously.
Yeah.
These are the keys. Yep. That's the key.
Don't lock the top deadbolt.
Okay.
I won't be able to get it.
I'm fine, right, sir.
My keys go. I think my
What do you mean? Your key to what?
I don't know. I just.
You got your car key right on you, right there.
Oh, fuck, I remember. There should be. No.
Let me make sure it's low.
What should I do about the call?
All right, good.
Should I call her to do it?
You can if you want it. Where's her mom live?
Delray, I think. I have no idea. Her mom disowned her too because of acts like this.
All right, hold on. My car. You want to actually put your car next to mine after you search it, put it in your car because you're gonna have to take it to the station and do a better search. You're just gonna have to pat it down here. You know what I mean?
All right.
Because you got to search her on camera at in booking anyway.
Okay.
She's got a female police officer question.
What does she want me to call?
She says she has a friend coming over.
Well, ma'am, who can I call for you, ma'am? You want me to call? Is it
The top one.
Ty?
No, call
Brianna?
Ty.
Ty?
Ty.
Who's that?
My best friend.
Okay, let me call.
She's a police officer.
Okay, let me call. She's gonna talk to you. Hi, this is the Boynton Beach Police Department. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So your friend's being arrested for domestic battery. So I have her house key and her phone, obviously. We're still here. She had mentioned that you were possibly on your way here. And she obviously has a dog.
Yeah, I'll take her dog. And then you're saying, okay, because I don't know, is he being arrested too?
No. No, he's
She
not.
has like blood on her and stuff, doesn't she?
No, not really, not at all. She's got like one little drop of blood on her foot, top of her foot, which could be from the broken glass in the house. You know what I mean? But he's got a busted lip, and calls came out with her chasing him down with a knife. His tires are slashed on his car, so you know, it's a mess, unfortunately.
Okay, I will be there.
How far away are you? You think?
I'm on Federal Castle.
That's probably why I couldn't see it. They didn't show his face. So he probably, he probably had a more visible injury. So she was the one who's arrested, since he has a more visible injury. And she, busted his tires with a knife, so.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll wait for you here. I have the key to her house on her phone, so we'll just wait for you, okay?
Okay, just can you let her know that I'll take care of her dog?
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'll let you talk to her. Yeah, okay? I will wait for you. Okay, bye-bye.
Who's that?
Her friend's gonna come right now. She's almost here.
1037?
Maybe. Good morning, but she's almost here, so that way she can take her dog, your house.
You want me to back up now?
Your friend will be here in like less than 2 minutes. We're gonna wait for her, okay?
Can you call Brianna?
She's on her way. That's what I just spoke to, right?
Ty?
I didn't call Ty. I called Brianna, and she's pulling up. Well, Brianna was the person you told me to call, man.
I told you to call
Ty. What is happening right now? I'm not gonna call everybody. Phone, ID, and house key.
I'm gonna back up.
This is the key to her house, so I locked it. But we'll let the friend take the dog, say her goodbyes. The friend's like, oh, she's allegedly covered in blood. I said, no, not at all. She got like one little drop of blood on top of her foot, which could be from
all the marks
stepping.
on her are consistent with him trying to leave, and she's told me she blocked his way.
Right. And the calls came out with her chasing down with a knife, and she was preventing him from leaving two different ways, inside the house and with the car,
and
slashing
he
his
called,
tires.
and she never called.
And he's got a split lip.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
I don't like...
See, that's the thing. So that's why they are judging that, you know what, she's the aggressor. Okay, she even admitted that she blocked his way out. She blocked him from going out. She, slashed his tires. He has a busted lip, and it doesn't sound like he called, but someone else called. I guess maybe, but someone called that she was chasing him with a knife. So that's why she's the one who's arrested, and he's not.
To do mutual combat unless it's absolutely clear.
No, absolutely.
Like, if I'm finding a primary aggressor, I want to. That's why I needed your opinion, because I don't know what she was like when you guys...
Well, I was waiting to see if she was going to allow you to swear her in and do all that, because it sounded like, she didn't want to.
Well, she wasn't going to.
Please tell me.
I do believe something happened inside, but what I can tell is that he's got a lot of defensive wounds. All right? The marks on your arms are consistent with you trying to get the way out, and he can put his hands on you, trying to get out and trying to stop him.
Kilo Victor Charlie, Kilo 05. KVC K05. Shipping back to Black
misdemeanors. Okay? Have you ever been arrested before?
Dude, I know, I did it. I did the same thing.
It happens to everybody.
Yeah. So, I have... Can I go near it?
You can talk to her right here. Okay. Yeah, we'll close the door.
Okay, so I called my dad because this happened to me. And the guy...
You don't want it on your phone? How you going to communicate?
Well, wait, yeah, but you're going to need it when you get out.
When you get out. Who you going to call?
And you know mine too?
But when you get out, they don't want to take it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do you want
you gotta write down
to take your keys with you? Or do you want the keys to go with you, or do you want your keys to go with her?
Well, I need the house key.
Give her my key.
I only locked the bottom because I was told the top.
Hi.
That's what you get for being a crazy bitch.
Yeah, so I'm gonna...
Yo, Omni, what is up, my brother? What is up?
Right, you want to go over here so we can transport her? We got a transporter.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna...
Omni, you should put your channel in the chat. People gotta check out his channel. Really a good old school videos.
They're taking her now, but I'll talk to you for a little bit, okay? Because I have a lawyer.
Yes? Yeah, don't fight. Ready, Freddy?
No.
For what?
The cuts.
There's no cuts. Where did you see a cut?
I'm just saying.
I didn't see a cut. I didn't even see it.
I'm not gonna say anything.
No, it's not.
I don't see it.
I just don't know how it is up there.
I don't. I think you cover her with a Band-Aid, give her a Band-Aid or something like that.
I didn't see a cut on her, dude. It's like a little splatter of blood from the floor somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is, that's what happens when you're walking on glass.
We didn't do anything.
You walk on glass. That's what
Yeah,
happens.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Right.
He didn't throw you around.
No, you didn't. Dude, if she got thrown around, she would have glass stuck to her.
Yeah.
There'll be little cuts on her leg.
Yeah.
Everything she said did not add up.
I kind of like that. That's good police investigation right there. So this is the thing, my brothers. I've said this before. Don't get with crazy chicks. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's not. I've said this so many times. Women and lust are men's biggest weakness. Biggest weakness. Okay? When women are your weakness, when lust is your weakness, you're always going to fail. Always. So, you got to watch out. So, take care of yourselves, my brothers. You know what? That's why, we got to record things nowadays. We definitely got to record things nowadays. All right. I want to check out this video. I came across this, right? And I kind of wanted to talk about it. This seems like it might be interesting video. Why some women hate men. So let's check it out.
When my daughter was in kindergarten, I sometimes volunteered in her classroom. One day, as I was organizing paperwork in the back of the room, the teacher gathered the students to the rug where they sat cross-legged at her feet. As she talked to the class, a wiggly boy in the front named Jack tapped her foot gently with his foot. She said, "Please don't do that." And he stopped for a minute, but then tapped her foot again. She corrected him again, so sternly that it caught my attention. The third time that he tapped her foot, she lost her temper, chastising him severely and yelling at him that he was being defiant. Another time when
Okay. I swear to God, it's like some like adults, they want to it's not micromanage, but micro observe every little thing. Okay. It's like I've seen girls do that to other girls. If a child's not really interested in interacting with another child, they'll do that regardless. It doesn't matter about it's a woman or it's a girl, it's a boy, it doesn't really matter.
I was in this kindergarten class, I was helping the kids as they did an art project drawing animals. Suddenly, I heard the teacher scold a boy, "Chase, what are you doing? Goats are not purple. Start over." I was stunned. The teacher was young and friendly, and she was always really nice to me and very kind to my daughter. What I and other parents noticed over time was that this teacher often exploded disproportionately at boys. And remember, these were 5-year-olds.
This is a thing where we're not in these classrooms, okay? We have to understand that predominantly teachers are women. And let's be honest, we can't necessarily 100% trust women too, right? Just like women say they can't trust men, well, could you trust women? Because we don't know how women are actually teaching the next generation. We don't know how women are dealing with actual boys, right? With boys. We don't know how they're teaching boys, how they're interacting with little boys. And we do know that a lot of women are implementing their ideology, right? They're putting their ideology onto the kids, or they're teaching with their ideology as the basis.
Barely out of preschool. They clung to their parents when they got dropped off at school. Some of them still took naps. So what was going on? Could it be that this teacher really didn't like boys? Or maybe didn't like men? more broadly, is misandry real? If so,
it is 100% real. Plenty of women hate boys, hate men. I have so many videos, right, of women saying that if they find out that they are pregnant with a boy, they will abort. Plenty of women saying that it will be disgusting if they find out that they're pregnant with a boy. Plenty of women saying that they can't imagine having a boy. Plenty of women. Right? Misandry is a real thing. Hateful women is a real thing.
So, where does it come from? What are the effects? And what do we do about it? This video has the potential to be one of the most controversial I've ever shared, and I realize it might make some people mad. Some of you may think I'm not hard enough on men, and some might think I'm not hard enough on women. And listen, plenty of people out there will offer a hot take on misandry to get you riled up for battle.
This is a thing where I don't care if people are hard on men. Go for it. Men aren't complaining that the world is hard on men. Men know it. Men know the world is hard on men. Both women and men are hard on men. Okay? Now, some men will complain about it, but here's the thing. Men understand the idea of survival of the fittest. Men understand the idea that, honestly, men have to persevere. Strength is a big thing in men. Artie, what is up, my brother? What is up?
Battle in the gender war. That's just
the Lindsay Clancy thing. Man, I may have to do more of that because women are crazy.
Not who I am. My goals are clearer understanding and solutions to the gender war that are grounded in love. So stick with me. Let's see if we can figure this out. First, what is misandry? The word misandry is from Greek, miso meaning hatred and andry meaning men. And it's as straightforward as that. It means dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against men, just as misogyny means dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women. So do some women really truly hate men, and not just dislike individual men who behave badly, but really hate men in general because they're men? Well, yes. And in fact, as I talked with people in preparation for this video, I found that many women felt more general anger at and even dislike of men in general than I expected. They described feeling conflicted about it because they loved their own male family members, but their anger at patriarchy and so many bad experiences with so many men, both personal and large-scale societal, had started to add up to negative feelings toward men in general. If that's you, you might already be feeling defensive. So let me establish a couple of things.
You know, I'm going to have to talk more about this whole patriarch thing, right? The whole patriarchy bullshit that women love to spew. Oh, I hate the patriarchy. I hate the patriarchy. Really? Really? It's like, it literally has given you the world that you live right now. Go get an island, right? And build your matriarchy. Go build a better world then.
Right off the bat. Misandry, hatred of men, and misogyny, hatred of women, are both hurtful, but they have not caused an equal amount of harm in our world. The impact is not even comparable. On an individual, physical level, the simple size and strength difference between a typical male and typical female makes for a grossly uneven fight. In general, a man can do far more damage to a woman than a woman can do to a man. Add to that patriarchal entitlement, where a man becomes furious if he's not.
That doesn't mean a whole lot. Okay, to say that, yes, men can do a whole lot because of strength to women than women can do to men. But that doesn't necessarily back up misogyny, right? The hate of women. And that doesn't necessarily prove that. And I've always liked to talk about this, okay? Because women love to sprout this. Majority of violence is committed by men. Okay. But it's not the same thing as majority of men commit violence. When you look at the raw numbers, it is almost, in America, it's less than 1% of men commit violent crimes. In general, right? This is not like violent crimes against women. No. It's just violent crimes in general. Less than 1% of men commit violent crimes in general. And this is not saying violent crimes against women or men. It's just both, okay? So, even though, correct, men have strength, but it doesn't mean that majority of men are using that strength against women, okay? This is the asinine logic. This is why the amazingness of men, even though men have this strength to, conquer women, to hurt women, majority of men do not. Majority of men do not.
Obeyed or shown the deference that he thinks he deserves, and you get a world where, as Margaret Atwood said, men are afraid that women will laugh at them. Women are afraid that men will kill them.
Men have never been afraid that women will laugh at them, right? I've never heard of men being afraid that women will laugh at them. Okay. This is a thing where a lot of women don't realize that they don't even care about what men fear, right? What men fear in life. Men fear that no one will love them. Men fear that they will become useless to this world. Okay? Being laughed at, ridiculed, such a fucking small ass shit. Okay? It's so belittling to say that men are afraid that women will laugh at them. And it is so, in my opinion, absolutely kind of disgusting to say that women fear that men will kill women. You look at the numbers, right? You look at the numbers, all right? Today, all right? Today, all right? Self-inflicted accidents occur more than homicides against women. So women accidentally delete themselves at a higher rate than homicide numbers. And yet you fear men will kill you. Skull, what is up, my brother? What is up? Can't stay, but supporting the machine. Love it, my brother. Thank you. Thank you for the support.
The data bears this out. In 2019, in the United States, there were 477 men murdered by women, and
how does the data supports that? There were 477 men murdered by women.
1,647.
1,647. You know what the population of women is? The population. Let me double check. Let me double check this bitch. Because I think the population of men is about 160 million. I think there's a little bit more women than men. I'm assuming, I'm guessing about maybe 170 million women. 170 million women. Yeah, okay. About 174 million women. That isn't even 1%. That is what, 0.0001% of women? How is the data supporting this? That is like you're talking like, I don't know, 10 million women are killed by men. You see the fear mongering, right? You see the fear mongering. The data doesn't show, right? The data doesn't support women's fear of men. The data doesn't support that. If 1,600 women were killed by men, and the population of women is 174 million women, the data doesn't show that men are that scary to women. Let me see. This is why I hate a lot of women's fear mongering. Her stats prove what? Prove what? It doesn't prove much. Doesn't prove much. Okay, look at this, right? In the United States, roughly 65,000, and that's the lower end, right? Women die from accidents. 65,000. You know what that shows me? Women should be more scared of themselves than scared of men. You see this? Do you see this fear mongering? Women should be more scared of themselves than fearful of men. It is like what, 10, 20 times, 20, 30 times like more likely you die from your own hands than you die from the hands of a man?
Than women murdered by men. And the large-scale societal impact of misandry versus misogyny is also vastly different. Some women do cause real harm to men, but in relatively small numbers. So in this...
Small numbers. Divorce cases? Let's talk about divorce cases. All right? 70% of divorces are filed by women. I'm pretty sure that's not love, right? I'm pretty sure that's not love towards a man.
Way, misandry is like a destructive bacteria that a few people pass on to people they come in direct contact with. Misogyny, on the other hand, is like a destructive bacteria that made it into the world's water supply.
Destructive bacteria that made it the water supply. Where about 1,600 women in 2019 died by the hands of a man. 1,600. A virus in the water supply. You see the fear mongering of women? Again, women are more likely to die by their own hands than the hands of a man. And yet, misogyny is such a disgusting thing. It's like a virus in the water.
The impact is exponentially different. And by the way, if you meet a men's rights activist who argues that misandry is systemic, that men are more oppressed than women, simply show him this photo or
show him the photo of leaders of our world, leaders of America. How does that prove anything? How does that prove anything? To be honest, how is that? A man leading does not necessarily mean that, misandry isn't a thing. Because plenty of men, right? No fault divorces was, established by men. Right? Or by a select few men that honestly targeted and hurted other men.
This photo or
top richest people. Right? Top richest people. Now, let's put in a photo of what the richest women. Guess what the richest women have, right? Guess what the pictures of richest women would be? It's either through inheritance or divorce. Ha! So you got money both ways through a man. Either inheritance from your father or divorce from your husband. Sounds like this right here, self-made millionaires, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, right? A lot of these people, Mark Zuckerberg, are self-made billionaires, right? While women, right, are not self-made. They got it through men, divorce and inheritance. Men who did it on their own, women who pretty much took advantage of men. Seems like misandry is more of a thing. It seems like, the results of misandry or the results of women is more of a thing.
This photo or the
most famous artist? I mean,
these photos.
Literally, I see a woman right there. It's like, what? Like, you see the narrative that a lot of these women want to put.
As historian Gerda Lerner said, throughout history, men have been oppressed for many reasons: their race, their religion, their social class, etc. But women have also been oppressed for all of those same reasons, and they have been oppressed because they are women.
Men have also been oppressed because there are men who go to war who died on the battlefield to protect your rights? Who dies on the battlefield so you don't be R-worded, privileged, and destroyed? Men do. Men do. Men are sacrificed on the battlefield for you to now, have your delusional feminist viewpoints.
Repeat, the impact of misandry and the impact of misogyny are not even close.
Literally nothing, none of the images she showed you any impact of misogyny, right? None of the images she showed you the impact of misogyny. You see how disgusting these women are. You see how disgusting they are? Because a lot of these men, right, built their careers themselves. Let me. What was it? Was it this one?
Or these.
You know, this man, Van Gogh, died poor. So really, a lot of artists died destitute. Misogyny right there. Misogyny. They died, right? Not in a great, not like they were like rolling in money and like, they lived a happy life. He lived a terrible life. A lot of these artists live terrible lives. That's not misogyny. Women are disgusting.
Ridiculous instance of false equivalence to claim otherwise. And with all of that said, girls and women do really harm men sometimes, and that matters to me. Feminist activist Audre Lorde said, "I'm thankful that one of my children is male, since that helps to keep me honest. Every line I write shrieks, there are no easy solutions." Audre Lorde loved her son and wanted his precious soul to be safe and to flourish in this world, just as I feel about my son and all the boys and men.
I hate when feminists has sons. I really do. I to be honest, I hate when feminists have children. I really do. Like if I can do anything, right? If I can do anything, I wish I could impart onto men. Stop dealing with these disgusting feminists. Let them go extinct.
In my life, and boys and men in general. So today we're going to take an honest look at misandry through 4 representative examples. Think about whether you've seen examples like this in your life, and then later we'll analyze what's going on. First, a fictional example. In Charles Dickens' masterpiece, Great Expectations, a young orphan boy named Philip Pirrip meets a woman named Miss Havisham and her adopted daughter Estella. Miss Havisham hates Pip, and she encourages Estella to break Pip's heart.
You can break his heart.
Why did Miss Havisham hate men so much? Second, a real-life example. Not long ago, one of my nephews was on a Zoom call with his middle school classmates, and a girl started writing in the chat that men, implying all men, were horrible and abusive. My nephew had never heard anything like that before, and no doubt thinking about his dad and his grandpas and his brothers and uncles, ventured in confusion, I don't think all men are like that. The girl wrote back profanities and "you should kill yourself." She literally wrote that. I saw screenshots of the whole conversation. Thank goodness my nephew told his parents about it and they helped him process what had happened. But what if he hadn't told them? What if that experience had gone deep into his heart and
it is literally thanks to women like this, right? Her the first like 5 minutes of her video that produced little girls like that. It is narratives like her that she was doing for 5 minutes, right? Building this narrative, right? At the first 5 minutes of this video that produce little girls like that.
Festered there. And then what if another girl at school bullied him the following year, which did happen, by the way. And then what if he fell in with some boys at school who introduced him to the manosphere? Here's a less dramatic, but extremely common example. I can think of multiple women I know who are chronically curt and critical of their husbands. Their husbands aren't perfect.
Now, I want to say this, right? On this side of the manosphere, I do not promote hating women. I don't. I will never promote anyone to hate a woman. You know what I do? I've said this plenty of times before. Hold people accountable for the things they say and do. I will go on the record, will say that I will never tell anyone to hate on women. Right? You did nothing. Why would I hate you? Right? Why would I insult you, ridicule you, and put you down? You done nothing. But you know what I do? Is hold people accountable for the things they say and the things they do. I don't give a shit if you're a woman. I don't care if you're a man. So that's the thing. Here on this, right, little speck of the internet, I do not promote men or anyone hating on women, hating on anyone. I have never, in my personal opinion, never promote hate towards anybody. I don't give a shit if you're a woman, man, black, white. I don't care. I don't care, because this is not this channel. This is not this channel. I don't promote you hating people. But what I do promote is you holding people accountable for the shit they spew. Okay? If what they're saying doesn't make sense, isn't logical, doesn't sound right, test it. All right? Test it. Criticize it. Critique it. But respectfully. Respectfully. This is what I've always done. Always done. I don't promote hate. I don't promote hating women here.
But they love their wives, and they.
She doesn't. Right? My girl does not walk all over me. But here's the thing. But this is why I don't promote hate, because I have a daughter. Right? I have a daughter. I have an amazing mom. I have great sisters. I have a girlfriend I love that I want to marry. Why would I hate women? There's not an ounce in me that I will say I hate women. Now, I've said this before. I've been on record saying, when it comes to my entertainment, right? My TV shows, my movies, my comic books, or my mangas, or whatever, I'm kind of sexist, right? I like a male lead. So I'll say that, but I don't promote hating women.
Do their best to make them happy. The wives just seem to be seething with resentment. In fact, this type of grumpy, critical wife is a trope in a lot of...
And yes, you hold people accountable, right? You hold people accountable. Doesn't mean you hate them. I've said this many times. I don't hate women. I don't hate anyone. I hold accountable.
Cultures. Where does this
I'm calm, my brother. I'm calm, right?
Stereotype of the angry woman come
Why
from?
are you
I know
so
multiple men
serious?
who were profoundly wounded by their mother's angry, volatile behavior in their childhoods. Then, just a few weeks ago, I was talking with my friend Shirley Draper. Shirley's kids are grown now, and she shared with me that her sons had come to her recently and given her some feedback that was really hard for her to hear. She told me I could record her story to share on this video.
I had 3 sons, and I just felt like that I was constantly trying to make sure that they understood. This is, men have this privilege and
what a disgusting woman. This is why I say I blame the fucking father. I blame the father. This is what happens when you procreate with a feminist. Having 3 sons, and she is poisoning her 3 sons, right? With this feminist hate.
you don't take advantage of that, and you shouldn't expect, anything special because you're a man. But then more than that, it was the conversations I would have with my friends, or that my boys would overhear, or, anything that would come along. So somebody would talk about male privilege or anything, and I, of course, had a lot to say about it. And so it really showed up in a way to my son as man-hating. And it showed up even beyond that as his inherent trait of having a Y chromosome was bad and wrong, without having any kind of productive or helpful male role model, was very harmful.
Oh, I get it. This bitch was a single mother. This disgusting ass feminist is a single mother. I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. Single mothers are the worst. They are the worst, absolute disgusting human beings.
To him. And so, we had a conversation not that long ago where he said to me, I need you to understand what it was like for me as a man to be raised in a man-hating household.
I know Shirley, and like all mothers, she loves her kids, and she...
Like all mothers, she loves her kids. Tell that to Lindsay Clancy. You see how the stupidity of women like this? I will hold these women accountable for the disgusting things they say. All mothers love their... Let's play that back.
Would do hating household.
I know Shirley, and like all mothers, she loves her kids.
All mothers? All mothers love their kids. You see how disgusting the disgusting propaganda this woman spews. She seems like she's trying to be on men's side or some bullshit like that. Probably not, right? We'll see how this video goes, but she doesn't seem like she don't give a shit about men. But to say the propaganda she's spewing, all mothers love their kids. I give you one case. Lindsay Clancy, who strangled 3 of her kids. Strangled, right? Or I think it was like with a rubber band or whatever, right? 3 of her kids, one at a time. One at a time, right? One kid, delete. Next kid, delete. Next kid, delete. That's the motherly love for you. That's motherly love for you. And I have videos. I have videos, right? YouTube shorts of women saying that they can be just like Lindsay Clancy. The woman who deleted 3 of her very, very young kids. I think the oldest was 5. These aren't like these are kids still in their cute age, right? Cute age. And yet this mother deleted 3 of her kids. Stop. Listen, like never trust the BS women say. I'm sorry.
And she would do absolutely anything for them. She literally left her fundamentalist polygamous community to save them. And she was absolutely...
Polygamous. Fundamentalist polygamous. God.
Absolutely devastated to learn that she had hurt them. Where did her hatred of men come from? She'll tell us in a minute, and it's a powerful insight. But first, let's circle back to all of these examples and figure out what's going on underneath. Miss Havisham. What on earth did this lady have against sweet little Pip? Well, Miss Havisham had been engaged to a man who pretended to love her, but was secretly conspiring to con her out of her fortune. And then he jilted her at the altar. She was so heartbroken by this man's cruelty that she stayed stuck in time at her abandoned wedding, literally still wearing her wedding dress. And that wound turned into hot, infected rage at men in general, which she took out on poor 7-year-old Pip. Have you ever known a woman to carry past masculine wounds into her relationships with other men? Next, the middle school girl who told my nephew to end his life. I don't know that girl, but it seems to me that either she had seen men do some really terrible things, or she had been hearing women express a lot of vitriol toward men, maybe in person, maybe online, maybe both. Have you ever known a woman to absorb collective cultural rage and then direct that rage at an undeserving target? Next, the bitter, critical wife. First of all, let's just say that the shrew trope perpetuates unfair, derogatory stereotypes about women. In patriarchal society, men have historically grown
unfair, derogatory narrative against women. And yet this supposedly educated bitch didn't have a problem with creating the fear-mongering narrative at the very beginning towards men. You see the hypocrisy of women? She had no problem creating the fear-mongering narrative against men at the beginning of her video. Hi, showing the unfairness of the world. Hi, thanks to men. showing how dangerous men are.
Up expecting women to obey and comply. So a woman who simply has her own opinion would be perceived as difficult. But even if this woman is legitimately mean to her husband, have you ever known a woman who was told her whole life to not ask questions, to be quiet and small, who sacrificed her career and her individual growth and development so everyone else in her family could pursue theirs? Have you ever
Everyone else in her family can pursue theirs. Do you think a man's dream is to slave away to provide for a family? Right? That's men's dream. Men's dream are kind of degenerate in the sense that he would rather be rich with many women, living the lavish lifestyle. Okay. That's a lot of men would just rather be, nomads or, be forever bachelors, wealthy forever bachelors. No, he sacrificed things to provide for you, the wife, and the kids. This is, you see our narrative, right? This is why I've said this.
And her individual growth and development, questions to be quiet and small, who sacrificed her career and her individual growth and development so everyone else in her family could pursue theirs.
This is why women like this, narratives like that, is exactly why I say modern day women do not qualify for traditional relationships. My brothers, right? If you're an average man making an average earning, women do not qualify to be stay-at-home wives or stay-at-home mothers. Women need to work. Women need to provide. And here's the thing. I'm going to hold men accountable too. Men need to participate in the childcare and the domestic work. Right? Take care of your home. It's your home. Take care of your kids. They're your kids. That woman will not have anything to complain about. You can't complain, you took away my dream of being a career woman. No, bitch, you can go for it. Be your career woman self, because we have bills to pay, right? We have plenty of bills to pay, and I don't want to overwork myself. So I want time for my kids, right? And I want time for my hobbies, right? And I don't mind cleaning my house. I don't mind taking care of my own house.
Have you ever known a woman who was financially dependent on her husband to the point of having to ask for an allowance and had no real vote or voice in her religion? If so, can you imagine why such a woman might feel a little resentment? Does it make sense that if this woman had never been taught what to do with that resentment or been given any tools to communicate it, that bottled up frustration might leak out or explode at the men closest to her? Are you seeing a theme here? What if the root of misandry is actually misogyny?
So, something that affects men, it goes back to it's because of men. You see the women, the shit women do. You see the shit women do. I'm really tired of women. Women in general. I'm tired of feminists, right? I'm not saying I'm tired of women. I'm tired of feminists. I really am. You see how she made it circular, where, misandry is a bad thing, but you know why? Because misogyny.
Just think about it. Misogyny is about controlling, hurting, and oppressing women. Misandry is about trying to protect against misogyny.
Oh, this stupid ass. Misandry is trying to protect against misogyny. Men that don't hate you, right? Men that aren't controlling you, hurting you, oppressing you, yet you are hating men to protect against something that men aren't doing. I literally, right, disproved the numbers she gave at the very beginning. Right? She said in 2019, 1,600 women were killed by men. Right? 1,600 1,600 women were killed by men in 2019. In a population of 174 million women. Where's the misogyny in that? Reverse the roles, follow her logic, her own. It's like really ridiculous.
Misandry is a response to the harms of patriarchy.
Misandry is the harm of patriarchy. Really. This is a thing where women put so much emphasis on the patriarchy. It is disgusting. Right? This is something that women will never be able to understand. There was a point in time, okay? Why do men need to be the leader? Because men keep other men in check. Men keep other men in check. She literally said, okay? Men have strength over women. Men have strength, right? Men have innate strength. Women don't. So when it's women versus men, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? There's no patriarchy at all, right? In a world, in the jungle, on this island, in this forest, whatever. There's no patriarchy at all. No patriarchy at all. A man, a woman. What's going to happen? There's no patriarchy. That woman, right, will be destroyed, will be used, could be violated. This is why, right, one of the things, you introduce another man. A man that protects women. Right? He stands in the line of fire for women. He stands in line. You know these wars that we've had throughout life, and this is the thing. Again, it's a reality. You won't be able to stop a war by not going to war, right? You can't stop someone else from taking your shit by not doing anything. Wars are inevitable. Battles are inevitable. We don't live in a utopia, right? I can't go to your house and say, please, can I have your shit? Can I have the things in your house? And you just give it to me. That don't fucking make sense. Right? I can't just come to your house and say, can I have your car? Can I have your jewelry? And you'll just give it to me. No. You would not just do that. Right? You won't just do that. You won't just give me your car out of the kindness of your heart. Right? So wars are a necessity to protect what is yours. To protect what is yours. And men have to stand in the line of fire to protect the nation, the world, or whatever that is his, the home that is his.
So now, my friend Shirley Draper, whose son told her it had hurt him to grow up in a man-hating household.
I was born and raised FLDS, which is Fundamentalist Latter-day Saint, and it's the group that practiced polygamy with, infamous Warren Jeffs at the helm. So my context for this conversation is about being raised in this really overtly patriarchal, misogynistic society, being raised with these messages that were so contrary to my soul, and then learning to come out of that and trying to fight against it in a way that I find out later isn't as effective as I wish it had been. My cultural history is one of high patriarchy and having different rules for men than for women. And so it started off with the entire setup, but I think in utero, where my dad was really abusive, physically abusive to my mom, really had a massive, massive impact on me. And so just my entire life, I remember chafing under these rules, separate rules for me than there were for my brothers, just because an inherent trait that was encoded in my DNA, and that was for me, the lack of a Y chromosome. That was literally the only difference between me and my brothers, and yet they had a lot more privilege than I did. It was very present for me from my first breath. My earliest memories are of a need to protect people who were being harmed, and also this rage about inequality, inequity. And so every time I'd see that, it would just make me so angry and made me also very hypersensitive to any whisper of it. to where a lot of times I would see it where it didn't really even exist. You know, somebody was trying to express care and it would come across to me as control. So yeah, that the hypersensitivity and the rage were ever present. I got this feedback that I was a man hater, and from my perspective, it was just, why? Because I'm not putting you on a pedestal and worshiping you? Is that what it means to be a man hater? And so I remember being told that a lot. You know, you think differently than others, and eventually I just.
No, just think about what it means to be a woman hater. Exactly that. What it means to be a woman hater. What would you equate? This is the stupidity of a lot of women. I'm sorry. This is why feminists are the lowest of IQs. What would you think? Right? What would you equate to being a man, a woman hater? What would you equate? Not putting women on a pedestal as a man hater, as a woman hater? What would you equate? All right. How about talking down on women? How about insulting women? Is that not, would you not say that's women hating? I just find it, this is the problem when women can't see the different perspectives. Okay. It shows low IQ, in my opinion. You can't see different perspectives. You can't see, you can't theorize other situations, other different, outcomes or other situations.
Ended up thinking I'm literally the only one in the world who thinks this, because I kept getting that feedback. But I didn't internalize it. I didn't take it in that I was a man hater. Because, you know, for me, it was just like, no, I'm demanding of you what is due to me. And that doesn't make me a man hater. And you don't get to tell me that.
You're demanding of you what is due to you. I mean, you're demanding of the other person what is due to you. What is due to you? What is due to you?
It never occurred to me that my being a warrior and really communicating in violent ways was harming my child. And so, you know, I have to learn nonviolent ways of communicating. So one of the things that I've learned over the years of studying, you know, people that I want to be like, Brene Brown, you know, shaming is so violent. And so if I'm looking at the message that I'm trying to get across of here's what we need to change, if I'm doing it in a shaming way, automatically people are going to be defensive and digging in. And, you know, and I think because we do that so much as a society, we create extremism. We create, you know, right now we've got a lot of young men that are really leaning into patriarchy and male dominance. And I think it's probably a reaction to their feeling shameful about who they were and their, you know, ascribed traits, inherent traits that they were born with. And so I'm thinking, you know, as a society, we can do so much better by having these gentler messages and these including and helping people understand, rather than saying, you know, you have so much privilege, you should be ashamed of that. That was something my son was born into. If I want people to have compassion for people who were born into polygamy, why wouldn't I want people to have compassion for other, you know, things they're born into, other privilege they have, just because, you know, I have.
Yeah, she's definitely a trash mom.
Have white privilege. I know that, right? So how do we have conversations about what it means and how we can do better, rather than saying you're bad? I can be a feminist. I can help people understand why the patriarchy is harmful without undermining and shaming and making someone feel like, you know, guilty for having been born a man.
I'm so grateful to Shirley for sharing her story. And one quick note, after we recorded this conversation, Shirley told me that she hoped she made it clear that she was not saying that women need to do men's emotional work for them. Women take on that burden far too often. So I do want to emphasize.
Stop protecting women. Stop protecting women. Stop it. Men take on that burden way too much. Stop protecting women. Men take on the burden of protecting women way too much. I just did a video. I just did a video of a black woman, complaining that, oh, she hates black men so much. All right. Black men didn't protect her when she was beaten up by another black man. Well, stop protecting women. Let them do it themselves. Men handle that burden way too much. Stupid bitches like this. I swear to God, I'm fucking. It's like, bitch. Then you know what? Okay, I agree. All right, stop handling shit for men. Men should stop handling shit for you. I hate these fucking women. I'm sorry. I'm getting emotional. Because women, feminists like this are disgusting, in my opinion. They're disgusting. I don't know if this is a prank video or not. Literally, I thought she was here to dissect women's hate, right, for men. But it seems like at the end of the day, she's just blaming men still, right? She's literally, right, women hating men, it's men's fault. Right? That's it. That's what she's doing. You see this is the world men live in? No one cares about men. Neither men nor women. And when women try to dissect men's issues, they make it about them fucking selves. When women talk about men's issue, they make it about themselves.
That Shirley was speaking specifically as a mother to a son, and that's a unique relationship. I wanted to feature that mother-son relationship, though, because Shirley isn't the only mother who has shared a story like that with me. Multiple grief-stricken mothers have reached out to me saying that their unhealed patriarchal wounds have done profound harm to the boys and men in their lives. In my opinion, we as individuals and as a society have to care about that. We have to care about our sons and husbands and fathers and brothers and nephews. And when we chase down that misandry to its source, to its root, over and over again, we see that at the root is a giant unhealed wound in women caused by misogyny. So what do? How do we heal?
You know, I don't know. This shit like this is just disgusting.
So that we break the cycle and pass on less trauma to the next generation. I have 3 practical suggestions, one specifically for men, one specifically for women, and one for everyone. First, an invitation for men. One quote I love is from the late Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, who said, "When another person makes you suffer, it is because they suffer deeply within themselves, and their suffering is spilling over." In that spirit, men, if you know a woman who seems upset a lot or seems to dislike men in general, would you be able to invite her to have a conversation with you where you just listen with the goal of understanding the patriarchal wounds that she could be carrying? These wounds might come from her childhood, watching her dad yell at her mom, or watching her whole community.
Okay, watching her dad yell at her mom is patriarchal wounds. If a mom yells at her father, is that matriarchal wounds? You see the inconsistency in that logic. So if a woman is berating a man, abusing a man, if it happens, I'm not saying it does, but is that matriarchal wounds? She probably won't say that, right? She'll still probably find a way. Oh, it must be her father's father, right? Or her father, right? Your mother, her father, the patriarch. Like you gotta bring it back to a patriarchy no matter what. This is a thing where I say this. At the end of the day, these women, in my opinion, I said it shows you more and more. They need to be alone. They just need to be alone. Yeah, don't touch our male philosophers.
Ignore and infantilize women. Her patriarchal wounds might be a few giant ones or 1 million less obvious ones, or both. And she might not have ever had the words to express her pain before. That might be why it has been leaking out sideways, manifesting itself in anger at you. Would you be able to just sit with her and try to understand? Maybe even more challenging, would you be able to accept responsibility for the patriarchal pain you may have caused, even if you did your best, even if the bad actions of other men are not your fault, which they're not, even if you have your own wounds? Would you be able to address those wounds at a different time and just sit with this woman and be a caring
So in a video of misogyny, or misandry, video on misandry, let's focus on the woman.
witness to her experience? Would you be willing to do this multiple times? Would you be able to tell her that she can take as long as she needs, that you're there for her while she does this Herculean work of stopping an intergenerational cycle of pain so that it doesn't get passed on to the next generation?
Or, you know what? You know how it doesn't get passed on to the next generation? She should not have kids. She hates, this is the thing where I find these really disgusting, right? A lot of these women hate men so much, they still have fucking sex with men, still reproduce with men. How about sterilize yourself? Get a hysterectomy. Get a hysterectomy. You hate men so much. End the patriarchy. Best way to end patriarchy is you don't reproduce the next generation. You don't have sex with men. You don't marry men. Go fucking be with women.
Next, an invitation for women. In her book, The Will to Change, Men, Masculinity, and Love, one of my great heroes, feminist scholar Bell Hooks, wrote, "To create loving men, we must love males. Caring about men because of what they do for us is not the same as loving males for simply being. When we love maleness, we extend our love whether males are performing or not. In patriarchal culture, males are not allowed simply to be who they are and to glory in their unique identity. Their value is always determined by what they do. In an anti-patriarchal culture, males do not have to prove their value and worth. They know from birth that simply being gives them value and the right to be cherished and loved." Women, if we are feeling animosity toward men in general, can we look honestly at the source of that animosity, whether that's individual men who have hurt us or systemic sexism in our culture? And then can we heal those wounds inside of us so that we can use our anger to create change in society, taking care to not mistreat the good, kind men in our lives? If a partner or son comes to us with hurt and pain that we have caused, can we listen without defensiveness and hold ourselves accountable for our actions? Can we make sure that we are extremely careful with our words and our energy around children? If our patriarchal wound isn't healed, it's not time to have a baby. It's not a good idea to become a kindergarten teacher. Can we show the world that the promise of feminism is true, that it's not a zero-sum game, that we can care about and support girls and we can care about and support boys? These things are not mutually...
I gotta say, okay, in a world where the patriarchy, if men didn't allow it, you think feminism would still be a thing? How? Because we could see the results, right? We could see the results of, let's say, I don't know, like Middle Eastern countries where men don't allow feminism to be a thing. But yet, in a patriarchal world, right? Patriarchal society, men found it to be a good thing for women to be equal to men. Systemically. Now I kind of regret it.
Exclusive. We can work toward a world where everyone can thrive. And now I have an invitation for everyone. We've all been harmed, and we all bring invisible wounds from our pasts and from our culture into our present relationships. It's part of the human condition, and patriarchy only makes it worse. But we can begin healing those wounds.
You know, this is the thing where I hate this shit, okay? Show me the world. Show me the nation. Show me the part in history where the matriarchal leadership has defended its nation, its people. Show me. Show me the matriarchal world where it has produced good results for the people. Show me. Bitch, you would not be surviving. All right? You wouldn't be surviving if it wasn't for the patriarchy, for male leadership. You wouldn't be surviving. You could not survive, all right, in the wild where there's no rule and order. The patriarchy is just literally order, law and order by male leadership. I find women like this absolutely disgusting.
We can do this through patient and compassionate conversation with loved ones, through therapy, through men's circles or women's circles. There are all kinds of modalities that can help. And I highly recommend this book called Gender Equity and Reconciliation, 30 Years of Healing the Most Ancient Wound in the Human Family. But at the end of the day, no amount of books or validation from others, certainly no amount of sex or being doted on or obeyed or hustling for others' approval can heal our wounds. But we can heal our wounds. And in my experience, the thing that heals wounds and replaces the corrosive force of hatred, whether it be misogyny or misandry or racism or any other kind of hatred, is the power of love. As Dr. Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. To illustrate this point, I want to close with a scene from one of my favorite movies, Moana. In the film, an island is becoming sick. Its food sources are dying as charred lava takes over the vegetation. Te Ka, a ferocious fire goddess, is destroying the island, and she attacks anyone who comes near.
Whatever. What do you guys think? Women like this is kind of annoying. DA, I think the patriarchy too is a male-to-male accountability system with male enforcement. Exactly. Seriously. Like and you gotta imagine this, right? In a matriarchy, who's controlling men? Women? Who's keeping men in check? Women ain't keeping men in check. Pandaverse. All right, there's another video I wanted to check out. Definitely low IQ. Definitely.
Because in today's
All right, I want to check out this video. All right, so let's get started.
This video, I want to address a continued and what seems like never-ending disregard for men in society, specifically the progressive, leftist, woke, liberal women, or whatever title you want to give them. But I think we all know the ones I'm talking about.
Society need men.
yes and no. No.
So why yes and why no for you? And then I'll ask you why you said no.
Well, because in today's society, sometimes you don't need the male to have a baby anymore. Yeah. That's why I would say yes.
You do. Where do you think sperm comes from? It's not magic. Sperm isn't magic. Right? It doesn't just magically appear. Scientists don't just create sperm. Still comes from a man. God, women are so fucking low IQ.
It's not like a moral thing for me. Yeah. I'm like we can exist without men only because new research has been discovered of making egg into sperm, so we can reproduce without men. So it's not like a moral thing.
What? What the fuck is that?
It's more of like if men just died right now, could we survive? Yes, because of the new research that they're doing.
Those who think women run the world.
What? Let's see.
who believe we don't need men, that life is better without men, and that all that men do is cause problems, are violent, and hurt women and society. Every day I see articles like this one, published in New York Magazine, titled, "This economist crunched the numbers and stopped dating men, and has never been happier." Are men really the problem, or perhaps this woman
Wow, and you have a boy? Oh, I'm not sure if the same person.
wasn't straight, and found a better gay partner, and used some numbers.
No. No, there's no research. There's no research showing that women can currently reproduce without any male genetic contribution. However, related scientific work in the vitro gametogenesis, creating eggs or sperm from stem cells, is advancing rapidly, mostly in mice with early human steps. I mean, they are trying to do stem cell research, I guess.
To substantiate her choice. Ultimately, this is just another case of women finding ways to blame men for their problems and playing the victim card to garner attention, pity, and reasoning for their situation.
Here's the thing, right? Scientists have created functional eggs and sperm from stem cells in mice. So guess what? That shows you that women can be wiped off. I mean, by her same logic, okay? By her same logic, women can cease to exist and men create. So, but I mean, still, that's early stage, experimentation.
As I've said in some of my previous videos, it seems like the only way women know how to elevate themselves is by punching others down. It's sad and disgusting because it's not only hurting men, but also women. It's creating a divide between us, a hate for one another that I think is leading to a loneliness epidemic. It's not natural to humans, and is causing an immense number of unintended consequences and destroying society. A recent Gallup poll found that men in the US aged 15 to 34 are amongst the loneliest in the West, with about 25% of men saying they experienced feelings of loneliness in the previous day. This trend is also felt in many other rich Western countries, like Ireland, Canada, and the UK, all above 20%. Many articles try to attribute this loneliness epidemic amongst young men to porn and video games. I might be wrong, but personally, I think those are just coping tools and an outlet for constantly being ridiculed, diminished, and rejected by society.
I agree. This is the thing where a lot of men are doing destructive things or very isolating things, right? Very isolating things because they cope with a world that don't like them. This is what a generation of young men are growing up into. Like, you see that feminist video I showed you, where young men are growing up in a world where women are hating on these men, blaming the patriarchy on these men, and that's why a lot of these young men are dejected.
It seems like every day there are stories mocking strong men, rejecting the idea that society needs men to function, disparaging the idea of kids needing a father, eliminating male bonding spaces, and
Wait, what?
Disparaging the
surprising reason single moms thrive more than married moms, according to research. What research? I gotta check this. I want to check it out.
the idea of kids needing a father, eliminating male bonding spaces, and humiliating the idea of men as the protectors, because they are actually the violent predators. I think modern society has wrongly guided men to a place of destitution, to a nowhere land.
Okay, no, there's no available research that shows that single mothers are thriving more than married mothers. In fact, the consistent pattern across multiple large studies is the opposite. Married mothers report higher average levels of happiness, life satisfaction, and overall well-being than single unmarried mothers. So I don't know what that stupid article said, but studies don't show it. Research don't show it. I just hate these feminist propaganda.
Where their ingrained biological roles as men have been replaced by foreign concepts idealized by spiteful women. It's not normal, and we shouldn't expect men to embrace or tolerate it. If we look back at historical tribal and hunter-gatherer societies, as well as warrior cultures, gender roles often reflected a division of labor shaped by survival needs. Men.
This is a thing where feminists can only happen in a first world country. Feminism can only happen in a first world country. This is why the patriarchy was a thing. Because there was a time where you had to hunt, you had to gather, you had to protect, you had to shape and structure and create. Right? You had to create a town, a village, a city, right? A nation. And women aren't creating that. Men have to. Men have to. Men are the ones to create villages, towns, cities, nations, countries. Men are, not women. Show me the society that women created.
Men typically engage in high-risk mobile activities such as hunting, raiding, or warfare, while women focus on tasks that ensured community stability, including gathering, food processing, childcare, and maintaining social networks. Although men and women generally cohabited in shared communities, it was common for men to spend extended periods away in all-male groups, pursuing these activities, which not only promoted strong male bonds and hierarchies, but also reinforced their roles as protectors and providers. Within both male and female groups, hierarchies emerged alongside multi-generational structures, enabling elders to impact wisdom, enforce norms, and guide younger members towards their social roles, fostering leadership and community cohesion. Today, especially in Western societies, these communal systems have largely transitioned to isolated nuclear family units, often characterized by minimal interaction with neighbors or extended kin. The traditional world.
Oh yeah, the IVF thing is like very, low success rates. Evil Eddie, what is up, my brother? What is up?
World of men, marked by purpose-driven bonding through shared risk and rituals, now finds limited outlets in areas like sports or military service. Similarly, the multi-generational female support groups that once provided the emotional, practical, and social guidance have diminished, leading women to rely more heavily on male partners for the kind of comprehensive support that was once provided by female communities. But for many male partners, because of their nature, the nuclear family is not enough in fulfilling their needs for deeper purpose and male camaraderie, as a single female partner cannot fully replicate the dynamics of historical all-male groups. And thus, it's unrealistic for women to expect their male partner to fully replace the emotional support provided by traditional female groups. Yet, this common dynamic where partners are burdened as everything often fuels unhappiness, exacerbated by eroded social networks, urbanization, and digital isolation. But yet, this is the modern-day expectation. And if men fall short, they are perceived as uninterested, disconnected, and not present as good partners and fathers. Social media only reinforces these high expectations set on men, further fueling the division between men and women. One reason is the anonymity of social media allows people to state opinions, lies, and falsehoods they would never express in person. So widespread sayings like men are trash are normalized.
You know, the same women that say men are trash are the same women that won't stop dealing with men. I'm the biggest supporter of women decentering men. A feminist going lesbian. Go for it. I'm the biggest supporter of women just being single and childless for the rest of their life. Biggest supporter. I'm gleeful when feminists just stay single and childless for the rest of their life.
You also see women repeatedly vent about bad relationships, without acknowledging their role in choosing or staying with those partners. This infects the social conditioning of females and pervades into media and entertainment that men are trash, players, users, and abusers. Of course, those men exist. But again, the negativity bias projects much further than reality. When women are constantly bombarded.
Yeah, bad men exist. Don't pick them. Don't pick them. Plain and simple. same thing with like how women are, let's say this, how women can blame, oh, it's the patriarchy or it's generational of the patriarchy shit. But here's the thing. You could line up that patriarch, that lineage, and a lot of times it's women picking these men, right? It's women picking these men. Now, maybe at a certain point where the woman didn't have no choice in picking the man, I get it. But you could see that there's a point where women could stop, where they don't have to pick it.
By the message to be cautious of men, this amplifies fear and fuels distrust and disgust against men. Hey,
yes, I agree.
Unfortunately, I lost the second half of this video, so instead I'll make it a two-part series. In the second,
let's check our two-part series.
They don't want you.
Let's check our second part.
They don't want you. You actually have to be likable to find someone. The fact that women
Men are reporting being uncomfortable in the workplace due to the rise of feminism, nose ring theory, male loneliness epidemic.
Don't need men to survive anymore has caused the male loneliness epidemic. Men had to manufacture a sense of need for their...
This is why I do TikTok videos. Right? This is why. To show you. Video proof of the poisonness of women, right? The venom of women. This is why I do TikTok videos.
Their presence. And you don't know how to be desirable to women, so you're lonely. Oh, thoughts and prayers.
Are some women so delusional they think they can openly and freely disparage men without consequence? Yes and no. Yes, because they are delusional. But also no, because they live in a social and cultural bubble that reinforces these delusions to a level of normality. They have no idea how the world works and how men are essential to almost every part of their lives. To the food on their plates, to the homes that they live in, to the roads that they drive, to the technology that they use. And
Women hate the patriarchy so much, but they won't reject the fruits of the patriarchy. The phone, the clothes, the house, the car, the streets, the infrastructure. You won't reject the patriarchy.
To the conception that gave them life. In conjunction with this degradation of men, we've given all the power to women. We've raised women up, as we should, but not to be equals to men, but to levels far above men, telling women we are far superior and don't need men in our lives. This superiority complex leads to sweeping generalizations like believe all women, as if all women are innocent, are always the victims, can do no harm, do not lie, cheat, abuse, or are violent. The media further fuels this narrative, often sentencing men to trial by media, portraying men as the predators and abusers, and should lose their job, be cancelled, and have their lives ruined without even being found guilty of a crime. Some Hollywood celebrities, influencers, podcasters, YouTubers also echo these same sentiments, deepening these narratives throughout society. This mass fight and war against men just drives a wedge between men and women, because it has led men to distance themselves from women out of fear of being falsely accused, mislabeled, and potentially dumped, fired, or cancelled for no reason. The workplace environment has become an HR hotspot, where men aren't willing to be alone in a room with a woman. They censor their conversations around women, and overall just distrust women and question their motivations and intentions. And some men have even checked out of the dating pool, believing the effort isn't worth the cost, because the likelihood of finding a woman who offers an equal exchange of value is unlikely. Now, what many women fail to understand is that they may think they have won by rising above men and making them feel dispensable, but in reality, it only leads to self-destruction.
Tell me why every day I go out, looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever. Oh my God, please. I'll take a construction worker catcall at this point. Please.
The same Gallup poll I referred to in part 1, which found that men in the US aged 15 to 34 are amongst the loneliest in the West, also found that the second most lonely group are women aged 35 to 54. It's funny how the headline is about the men, when in reality, women are not too far behind. If I were to speculate, I would say...
That's why I think it's funny, okay? The time when women were we're so gleeful of the male loneliness epidemic. Guess what? If men are by themselves, you think women are not? Who are women with? Are you just saying because women are with other women? Really? Really? I don't really think so.
These women are most likely unmarried, don't have kids, and are working unfulfilling jobs. And these are not out of choice. They do want to be in a loving relationship with a quality man and have a family and kids to care for, and maybe have a part-time or full-time job that provides them some form of satisfaction outside the family. Their desperation is high because they're nearing the end of their fertility window. Without finding that partner they want to start a family with, and they see the doors closing. They potentially also spent the past decade adhering to the modern feminist belief that they don't need a man, and they should focus on themselves and their careers, only now to come to the realization that those ambitions provide little life satisfaction, especially as they get older and see their friends get married and start families. And thus, all the extracurricular activities with friends and colleagues start to dry up. You don't have to look far on social media to see evidence of this, where women are complaining they can't find a quality man, that they are alone and want to start a family. But few men want to be with these women because they are often self-centered, entitled, bring little to the relationship, and don't understand how to be a valuable partner to the men they desire. This is especially a problem for younger generations, because if women, social media, news media, and society make it their mission to destroy men, then how are they to develop, grow, and become the real men that women will come to desire, to become their husbands and father of their children? We are removing outlets for young boys and men. For example, less recreation time and sports in schools to blow off steam. And we wonder why so many young kids, and especially boys, are being diagnosed with hyperactivity disorders. Very few boys now go to Boy Scouts or some equivalent, which gives them a space amongst men to engage in male bonding activities and camaraderie. Men need their spaces to just be men, just like women need their spaces to just be women. There used to be many gentlemen's clubs or male health clubs that provided these bonding spaces, but a few vocal feminist women have protested, claiming they are discriminatory on the basis of sex and should allow women entry and membership. We call men's only spaces sexist for not allowing women, but women's only gyms, camps, events, and spas are not. Where can men go to just be men? If you're watching, let me know in the comments below, where do you go to just be amongst men and feel totally free? The progressive leftist, woke, liberal...
That's also why I wanted to create a space where subscribers and viewers can say whatever. Voice your opinions, voice how you feel. This is why I do like Wednesday's panel shows, where this is like, I mean, it's not necessarily men only space, but it's like a space where men are not stopped for expressing their feelings, their thoughts, their opinions. I just think that men don't have enough spaces where they can feel comfortable to just let loose, have their, express their thoughts.
Women have no incentive to provide a balanced perspective, because that would reduce or remove the agenda they want to push for their own gains. If only one side of the truth and narrative are continuously pushed, it has a cultural impact where incorrect beliefs become the normal.
6 scientific things about being single that'll make you say, wait, that's actually amazing. Alexandra Churchill, this is a thing where, this is why I've said this, feminism is destructive. It's poisonous to society. This is why a matriarchy does not, in my opinion, productive. Because when women led society, they promote pretty much stop producing, the extinction of the human species. That is what women would produce. You see the results of feminism. Okay, most countries in this world, thanks to feminism, their birth rates are going down. Their birth rates are going down. Okay? Most nations in this world, because of the poisoning of feminism, birth rates are going down. Essentially, we are projected, right, to not be able to have enough human beings to replace the ones that would, pass away.
group attitude. And it only hurts women because often what women say and what they respond to are two very different things. They will say one thing for social cohesion or groupthink, but act in a completely opposite way. For example, there is a narrative pushed that women want soft, caring, emotionally vulnerable men, but they also punish those men and feel unattracted to them if they do express feelings or a softer, vulnerable side. Women also fight for equality of outcome in the working world, but aren't willing to do the long hours, dirty, and dangerous jobs that men do. They only want the CEO and board positions to be equal, without having to take the long, hard, and sometimes personally damaging road to get there. At the end of the day, the idea that women should overtake men and that men should basically live their lives in exile without consequence to women is laughable. But unfortunately, we are seeing the consequences of this mentality and reality play out, and it's not looking hopeful or beneficial to anyone. In this video, and I hope it comes across in all my videos, is a message that men and women need one another. We are equals in our value, but provide different types of value. And that's extremely important to the balance of our society, community, and family dynamics. I truly believe this. If women, the media, and society don't start treating men as equals and highly valuable to society, things are going to get a lot worse for both men and women. That's why I make videos like these, because I care about our future and the future of my children. Thank you so much for watching.
Interesting. I mean, I think she said some amazing stuff. Very heartfelt things. So I thought it was interesting. Here's the thing where I kind of think that we are heading down a path that needs to end on extreme or any kind of change. So it's kind of hard. This is why I've said this before. I promote the passport bros. Because in my opinion, we need these feminists to die out. Go extinct. They will be, a lot of feminists will pretty much be the end of their line. They will be the end of their line. So great. Men should travel the world, find women in other countries. Women that are not poisoned by feminism. I think that's how we go about it, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to end up on some of these clips. I want to check them out. I'm not sure if it's going to be good or not, so we'll see. Old school Jordan Peterson is amazing.
You said it's a civilizational issue.
Mm-hmm. And because free speech is the fundamental principle of Western civilization.
Yeah.
I mean, the fundamental principle is logos, roughly speaking.
Right.
And that's part of the Judeo-Christian tradition. And logos is the word that turns chaos into order.
Yeah.
And logos is the function of our soul. That's one way of thinking about it. The fundamental presupposition of Western civilization is that truth is the best defense against suffering.
Right.
And that's spoken truth.
Right.
And it's spoken partly because, well, it's one thing to think. The problem with thinking is that you're blinded by your own biases and preconceptions and ignorance. But when you speak publicly, then people have a chance to engage you in debate and to improve the speech and to craft it and to refine it and make it more accurate and to reach consensus.
One of the consequences of this great political correctness, or whatever you want to call it, and people living in fear, is that they don't have honest debate. And
Right.
Eventually you do reduce yourself to the guys who didn't like the Charlie Hebdo cartoons. You're a half-wit who can't argue against it. And you no longer want to be bothered arguing against it, using words to demolish what they're doing. So all you can do is kick the door down and open fire.
Yeah, well, the alternative to negotiation is war.
Right.
And that happens at the individual level and at the social level. If you can't talk to people, then, and you have a difference of opinion with them, then they're your enemies. And combative speech is the replacement for actual combat.
Yeah.
And, real speech is very troublesome and difficult because it can unglue people psychologically, but better that than actual violence. or it's partly better that than tyranny and slavery, because
Right.
those are really the alternatives.
Right, right.
It's a toss-up which of the sides you
Or
want.
this totalitarian thought control, where the cure is worse than
Yeah, well,
disease.
I had an interesting example of that when the U of T wrote me the first letter, because they claimed that they had received a lot of letters stating that my comments about the pronouns had contributed to an unsafe environment at the U of T, and that they had received letters from people who had mentioned that they had received hundreds of letters from people supporting me, and also a petition with several thousand slide into the big lie. And I know it has something to do with sins of omission, and that was a really good example, because when they wrote me the letter, they didn't say, we've received opinions on both sides. Far more people had written in support of me than had written to criticize me. And I thought,
but again,
that's institutional corruption.
To go back to your civilizational point, because if a University of Toronto professor had been told what you were told in 1957 or 1938, or actually much more recently, he would have assumed he'd woken up in some kind of alternative universe.
Well, that's how it feels to me. That it feels like I've woken up in some alternative universe. And and obviously this issue is far greater than the pronoun issue. So my son and I counted newspaper articles about this since the story broke. There's 180 newspaper articles published, and the idea that this is about pronouns is wrong. Specify what an argument is about and at what level it needs to be resolved. But this is definitely an argument between free speech or truth, as Jonathan Haidt, Truth University, Chicago, I think, was the top for Truth University, and Brown for social justice.
It's getting a shorter list, the Truth Universities.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too, is that a lot of the dampening of free speech happens invisibly. So, for example, when my students talk...
These subjects that are closed off and people talk about other things, or in the case of religious freedom, the elephant in the room of Islam, and they kind of overcompensate in other areas. So it's an extremely weird thing.
Yeah, well, it's the alliance between the social justice warrior.
I just wanted to check out what he's gonna say.
The postmodern view is like the Hobbesian view in some sense, except you want to replace the individual with pyramids of and that the landscape in which those pyramids exist is one of unbroken enmity and inability to communicate. So it's a very dark view as far as I'm concerned. And I think it's fundamentally wrong in many ways. I mean, it's right in that there are groups of people and there is some difficulty in communication between them, and that power is an element in the formation of hierarchies, but you can't reduce hierarchy or group relationship to those premises. It's too simplified, because people also cooperate. We're also not groups. Many of us belong to many groups. So it's the actual situation is far too complex to reduce it to that degree. Even though you can come up with a good explanatory story if you do so, it doesn't capture the nuances, and they're not just nuances. It doesn't capture the essence. Now, the thing is that when you make the presupposition that the reason that hierarchies exist is because of power, then essentially what you do is turn every hierarchy into a tyranny. And so if there is a hierarchy...
This is why women can't grasp the concept of patriarchy. Right? Because hierarchy, right? Women don't really understand or like or can truly comprehend the concept of hierarchy. Okay? Like structure. They can't understand the structure that men created. Okay? This is why women also have a problem with leadership. Women like to do things egalitarian, like where supposedly all equals. Okay? Supposedly there's no one leading no one. You're all I don't know, very collective mindset, hive mindset. Okay? It's faulty in my opinion.
Then you assume it's a tyranny. Well, that's really the patriarchy. The patriarchy is hierarchy assumed as tyranny. And that's also just not true, except in pathological hierarchies. So, for example, we know from the psychological literature that the best predictors of long-term life success are intelligence and conscientiousness, in Western countries at least. And, well, that's what you'd hope for, right? You'd more or less, if you wanted even to set up a society, even if you weren't particularly smart or hardworking, you might want to set up a society where intelligence and hard work were good predictors of success, because then the people who were smart and hardworking would produce a bunch of things that you could have if you could trade for them. And of course, that is actually the situation that most of us are in. So, and of course, the other thing about people who believe that hierarchies in the West are only composed of power and tyranny is that their own actions belie that, because whenever they make a decision to interact with that hierarchy, they attempt or to make a purchase or to make a trade, let's say, or to obtain a service of any importance, let's say a medical service, they're going to definitely act as if there are less and more competent people within that hierarchy and seek out the ones that are more competent, obviously, which you don't do. If the hierarchy is only composed of tyranny and power, there's no point in looking for competence. But anyways, in the West and in functioning societies, the hierarchies are basically predicated on competence and not power. And you might say, well, that's pretty naive. It's like, no, actually, it's not very naive. I'm not saying at all that inappropriate power plays don't play a role in corrupting hierarchies of competence. That happens, but generally what happens is if the hierarchies of competence get corrupted enough by power, then they crumble because they can no longer function. So, and the evidence that our hierarchies of competence work is everywhere, because everything around us works all the time. Ayaan Hirsi Ali tells two interesting stories in her book Infidel, which is a great book, by the way. She came from Africa and from a country that wasn't very functional. And when she came to Holland, she said there were two things that really amazed her. And this really struck me because, now and then you get lucky and you can see the world you live in from an outsider's perspective, right? You get to see through someone else's eyes. She said the first thing that knocked her off her feet was waiting for a bus in Amsterdam. And she's standing at the bus stop and there's a pole there and there's a digital sign on the pole. And the digital sign says when the next bus is going to come and counts down. And then when it hits 0, the bus appears. And she absolutely could not believe that would happen, that there could be a sign that told you when the bus would come, and that it would change and the bus would actually appear. And you think, well, yeah, no, that's a miracle, man. That's an absolute miracle. It is. You got to think that through. The amount of timing and organization and
this is the part where a lot of women don't understand. This is a lot of feminists live in the world of the patriarchy, and it's created the comfort for them. I created the comfort for them. A lot of women don't realize that. It's created such a comfortable world for you where now you are so entitled to now hate it. You see that? You are so entitled to now hate the world that men created for you. Please like and subscribe, my brothers. Please like and subscribe.
And reliability, mechanical reliability, and sociological or social organization and dedication on the part of the bus drivers and the entire company and the organization of the whole city and the state to make that possible is absolutely beyond belief, especially when it's timed to, well, perhaps not the second, but to 10 seconds or something like that. That is absolutely beyond belief. And her inability to comprehend that was the correct response. And then the other thing she was amazed by was that you could go talk to policemen and they would help you. That was just a no-go for her, because for her experience was policemen were there to shake you down and hurt you. And so you think, well, I won't dwell on that point any longer. The point is that
this is a thing where we don't live in a utopia. Okay, men aren't perfect. No doubt about that. There are terrible men out there, 100%. Men have balance of probability. Men have been terrible throughout history. No, there's no lie about that. But for all the terrible things men have done plenty of good. Plenty. And to be honest, men have done so well that we live in society. Okay, imagine this. Every year, okay, violence is going down. That's amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment. Homicide is going down. Killings are going down. We are there are less and less people dying, right? From, you know, getting killed or certain things, right? We are, it's like we've created, you know, we advanced the technology so much where, you know, birth deaths are very small, right? We've created, we've advanced technology to the point where women are not dying by the droves on birth, on giving birth. We've created society where we've done so much, and yet women only see the bad.
It's absolutely ridiculous, blind, to make the assumption that the hierarchies in functioning Western democracies are fundamentally predicated on power and tyranny.
Well, that is it. I just want to check on some, you know, thoughts with Jordan Peterson, what his thoughts and stuff like that. I've always believed that I hate how people want to shit on men while live in a society that you are enjoying thanks to men. I always hate that. Locke, what is up? What is up? That's because feminism is based on hate. 100%. 100%. Right? Feminism is based on hate, a misery, and just all around negative crap. 100%. This is why on this channel, I fight against feminism. I fight against feminism. Hell, yo, Eva Eddie, make that a song, right? Fighting against feminism, right? Make that a song. On this channel, we fight against feminism because that does not help society. What does feminism really truly help society? I don't really think it does. It has done a whole lot. Now, again, I don't discredit that. I think it's great that women are equal. Yes. But it's overcorrected. It's gone beyond its necessity. Now it's just a poison. Okay? Now it's just a poison. So feminism is a death cult. It's literally, we are going extinct thanks to feminism. Birth rates are going down. Birth rates are going down. We are in almost like a gender war thanks to feminism. If you can name one thing that feminism has benefited the world, I'll give you the intergalactic space penny. Exactly. It hasn't. It hasn't. This is why you see this, right? Why do you only see feminism in first world countries? Why? Because men have shaped the world so well, now women can complain about it. Great. Right? Thanks to men's the advancements, thanks to men, now women can just complain more. Amazing shit. Amazing stuff right there. So I never cared for it, but you know, it is what it is. But this is why I said on this channel, we fight against feminism. We talk about it. We point out the poison that it is. Right? It's not just the birth rates. It's the rise in psychotic meds. Oh, exactly. Exhaustion, entitlement, freaking hate. Exactly. The Lindsay Clancy shit. The Lindsay Clancy shit. All right. You know, the mental instability. All right. All feminism. Right. The love of a woman that has killed 3 of her kids. The support of a woman that killed 3 of her kids. Exactly. And I think the whole boys with like the huge amount of boys with ADHD, I think that's a result of feminism as well. It's the brainwashed women into thinking that gainful employment makes them better than everyone else. Exactly. As if having a job is somehow makes you worthy of a ticker tape. Exactly. Yo, Locke. Man is spitting facts. Man is spitting facts. And if you're not deleting the kids, they're all alienating them or altering them. I'm sorry. How many cases we're seeing that these young boys are becoming gay or trans? Women are altering these young boys. Women are altering them. Women are doing it. Women are trying to turn young boys into gays or or trans or feminists or whatever. Right? Women are destroying generations of young boys. 100%. Guys spitting facts. I love it. Like, I couldn't agree even more. Everything this guy's saying, 100% on board, I agree with. Crazy ass stuff. I love it. 100% agree. It's some crazy shit out there. All right, some crazy, crazy stuff. But guys, that is it. Locke, thank you for the gems you put. Thank you for the gems. I love it. Exactly, 100% agree with you. All right, Evil Eddie, my brother. That is it for tonight. Laughing Man, Omni. I love you guys. Big Bars. I've been making content for 3 freaking years, and the stuff I've seen is equal parts terrifying and hilarious. Love it. Great. Totally agree. I totally agree, my brother. All right. You're putting out some gems. Things you're saying, absolutely amazing stuff. Thank you for the love. Thank you for stopping by, my brothers. Guys, that is it. Later, guys. That's it for tonight. Brent. Later, my brother. Love your stuff. Later, guys.